So I think I'm finally rediscovering my forehand. In a previous video, I mentioned how I've really been struggling with my forehand, but recently, like with continued practice and with taping my sessions or recording my sessions, I'm now starting to notice some of the mistakes I was making and how to, fix it. So with this video that you see of one of my recent sessions with my coaches, I was really struggling, especially with, I would say, my footwork and trying to get that forehand. Like, I think it really wasn't gelling for me. In Lagos Country Club, I have like two coaches. One focuses mostly on technique, while the other tries to combine strategy and technique with the coaching. Now, a lot of times trying to combine like strategy, coming to the net, hit the volley, go back, then control the ball. That was what we were trying to do in this particular session, and in my brain it just wasn't computing. Then to make matters worse, the sun was scorching. I don't know how people are able to play in the scorching heat, but maybe it's also that I didn't have like a say heavy lunch. After a while, I was really sweating. I started feeling lightheaded, and well, not really lightheaded. Let me not over exaggerate it. I was just like, I think my body was just generally feeling weak. So I think it boils down to dehydration and needed some glucose. So after a while, so yeah, once that happened, I think we just took a break, and I went, got some air, went under AC, took Pepsi, then watched parts of Man U's match, then also parts of Arsenal's match. But anyways, so after that brief rest, I was able to get back to the course with another of the ball hitters. And this time around, we started off, say, a lot slower. So this time around, I had in mind just to try and focus on the forehand now. And I think because I was still a bit tired from that previous session, I didn't want to exert myself. So I wasn't doing a lot of like power shots. And good thing, we didn't start from the baseline, we started from the middle of the court. So that forced me to focus more on control and brushing up the ball. So that was when I remembered that my grip is really important. I'd been struggling. I actually have been struggling with my grip. I found out that I'm actually using this size of grip, the 4/3/8, which is like the grip size 3, one of the most common grip sizes, is slightly big for me. So I'm hoping to go down a size, but there really isn't much I can do. It pretty much boils down to maybe getting a different racket. So I was struggling with it a bit. In fact, if I tell you my journey with this racket, when I first started using it, the weight was way more than what I was used to. So like I was always getting injuries in my wrist. So an advice I would give anyone that is starting out in tennis: don't look for the heavy rackets like the 300 grams or the 295s. Nah, you don't need all of that. You can start out with like 270, go up to 285 gram. My previous racket was 285 grams. That was the head speed, and it like really it zips through the air. But like whenever I would be playing against heavy hitters, once a ball comes to me, my racket is like just ricocheting, and so that's why I opted for a heavier racket. But I paid the price in the beginning, and I paid the price because I didn't have a very good grip and I didn't have very good forehand technique, so it was always straining. I was always putting that strain on my wrist. But I've been trying to, generate more top spin. I initially used to hit a lot of flat balls, like constantly trying to drive the ball. But I think this session, it finally clicked to me, like brushing up the ball with the right grip. I used the semi-western grip, and I confirmed that after looking it up. In fact, after recording this video, I did each grip but picked this. Well, with this grip and with focusing on just controlling the ball now, not trying to hit heavy or anything, I was able to find the sweet spot on the racket and know what that felt like, brushing up the ball and getting the ball to go exactly where I wanted it to, which is supposed to be one of the selling points of this particular racket. It's supposedly a control racket, but the thing about rackets like this, if you don't do, in fact, things about rackets in general, if you don't do the right thing, you'll not get the desired result. I'm notorious for not doing the right thing and supposedly not learning from my mistakes, but I'm making an effort to, learn from my previous mistakes. So being able to do all of that, really control the ball and know what that felt like. Going to the baseline now, I was able to keep a lot of my balls in, and even the person I was hitting with commented on that my forehand is gradually improving. So my only concern now is that I hope that I don't now slip up on the backhand. But thankfully, like during this session, I know how this particular guy he hits, and I think he kind of like came down a bit, didn't hit as many fast balls so that I could like get to the ball and everything. But so I had a lot of time on my backhand, and I typically have more time on my backhand, but I had a lot more time this time around to try and really hit that flat backhand. A couple of them went in, some didn't, and I was also able to brush up on the backhand as well. So in all, it was a really good session, really visible improvements, and hopefully the next time I hit the courts, I do not forget all these things that I learned. But of course, I'm going to take a rest, get back to work, and hit the courts in a couple days time, and record some more and see how much progress I make then. But in the meantime, don't forget to leave. Don't just sit down in the house or at your desk being cooped up. Please don't forget to go out, to stand up and go and do something. Hopefully tennis, or just something to move you. So see you on the next one.
Chewy.